Yeah, that's what graffiti is.
One question that I had for you, because it's a big thing going around right now. Disguised Toast has his own Valorant team. A big creator, got his own.
Yep.
Purchased his own Valorant team by himself. Moist Critical and Ludwig now co-own a esports org. Do you think this whole what you and Nade kind of envisioned was just like creators owning esports orgs and like seeing that part of it? Do you think that's going to become more common?
I think it should have been like that from the beginning.
Yeah.
I think from the start, and obviously what I did, and I know that I talk a lot about myself, but just because I do that doesn't mean that anyone should take any credit from the shit that I did. And I understand that I talk a lot of shit about myself, and I love me a little bit of me, and I do it mostly for comedic purposes, but also there's a level of truth in there. But I think that the way that we did things, the way that Nature, when he left, started his own org and did, the Peril and then his own org, should have been the same thing. When Paris Legion became a thing, I was so surprised and in disbelief that ownership group didn't go to Gotaga and say, hey, we'll make you a co-owner of this thing. And that would have been so successful. They would have been one of the most valuable teams out there. Gotaga is like one of the biggest personalities in France. London, hello.
There's a
Sidemen.
There's 7 guys out there that know what the fuck they're doing.
Hello.
Yeah.
But meaningful equity, right? Not here's 2.5 that after dilution and after investments and all that, and they would have been thriving businesses. So yeah, I think that they more than ever are gonna have the ability to do that. But there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that, because you sort of at that point have to constantly promote and water that brand. And I don't know, and I didn't know about Disguised Toast. I knew about Moist Critical. About owning a team, but and I'm sure they're gonna find their own way and their own groove to do things, but the level of selflessness that it takes to run a team fucking sucks, especially when you're a creator, because when you as a creator have a bigger following than your teammates, it's really hard for you to swallow your pride and say, I'm way bigger than you. You're fucking welcome for being here. Right. Just play, and everybody is going to benefit from this thing. And I don't know if I hope I don't know. I mean, I don't know these people, right? I heard good things, and I obviously seen and respect what they built for themselves, in whichever industry they're in or whatever games they came up in. Their names are being brought up by you on this podcast.
Yeah.
So obviously they did something right, and I'm not saying that this whatever. So yeah, I think it should have been that way from the beginning, man. I think that if you take that approach, because look at OpTic, right? OpTic was massive when we picked up Nadeshot. Yeah. We had 300,000 subscribers in those days when we picked up Nadeshot and Merc and Big Timer and Rambo. So, the amount of effort that it takes to constantly promote them, to make sure that they are big, to make sure that your investment is going to be worth it. Sometimes people see that as like, man, I don't know if I want to get them bigger, because the bigger they get, the more I'm going to have to pay them. And you're constantly doing everything that benefits them more than you, but at the same time, the org benefits from that. And every single time, like we got there, and some of the reasons why I always made sure that I went above and beyond contract-wise when I was able to, is that at some point or another, agents are going to be involved, and that's in my opinion. I don't like to do business that way. I like to do business face to face, right? And I know that sometimes some people have taken advantage of people, but if you're thinking long term, there's no need for you to cut corners or try to scam someone out of a salary or out of something. From the beginning of time, every single sponsor, all the way through fucking Scuff House, 80% of the majority of the sponsorship money went to pay people, whether it was by paying for the house and the fucking utilities, which every fucking creator forgets that shit costs money, because if orgs don't put them up, they're gonna have to spend the $4,000 on their fucking apartment or whatever, and their utilities, right? So people always dismiss the rent as not payment. Anyway, long story short, I hope so, man. I hope that more people get involved, because you know, billionaire sports owners, as smart as they are, and as much as we have to learn from them or have the ability to learn from them, sometimes they don't understand the culture, and it's better when somebody endemic is the one that puts their best foot forward to build something.